Good morning. It is 9 o'clock. This is a regular meeting of Commissioners Court of Grimes County, Texas. The date is Wednesday, the 13th of March. Again, it's 9 a.m. We're at 114 West Buffington Avenue, Anderson, Texas. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to ask Gary Williamson, if he will, to lead us in the invocation, and then remain standing, if you would, for the pledges to the U.S. and the Texas flag. Mr. Williamson.
Let's pray. Our Heavenly Father, thank you for giving us another day. You are great at doing things like that. Lord, we're having a Commissioners Court meeting this morning, and please put your blessings into and your presence into all of these commissioners and this county judge, that they may make the right decisions for the benefit of the county. And Lord, look after our first responders, that they may be safe wherever they may go, and also our armed forces personnel. Without them, we would not even be able to have this meeting today. It's in your Son, Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen.
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 Thank you. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Thank you very much. Please be seated. We're now going to move into public comments. Just for those that may be missing Commissioner Walker, she has notified me that she's ill today, like so many throughout our county with, I guess, allergies and flu and everything else. So please stay healthy as close as you can, and if you do get ill or sick, stay home. Don't infect the rest of us. So we hope she returns back to us very quickly. Also, with public comments, we look forward to hearing from the citizens. We'd ask you to come to the podium. Yes, sir, please do, and introduce yourself by name, and if you can, limit your comments to 2 minutes, and we'll see how it goes.
Judge, if you'll give me a little bit of latitude.
We'll see how nice or how mean you are. Okay?
Okay. First of all, I came here
Your name, sir?
2 or 3 months. Jack Sines.
Jackson.
Live at 13102 Victoria Trace in Grimes County.
All right, sir.
Okay. Came here several months ago to talk about, because we live in a little corner of Grimes County that is surrounded by Montgomery County. And because we have problems getting fire vehicles in and EMS in there, EMS could have taken up to an hour because they would come from College Station. We talked about that, and my frustration, not with you people, but with the other powers that be. So I come here, I was gonna complain about something, but I can't now. First of all, thank you for the automatic first response for structure fires at Crown Ranch. The efforts of, I forgot her last name, Assistant Fire Chief Cassandra Malone at Todd Mission. I talked to her on Monday so that we could give residents a packet of information. One, for insurance purposes, because Gary Vincent, Magnolia Fire Chief, felt that we would qualify as a level 3 because Magnolia is our first responder. Cassandra got with the fire chief and got everything worked out for us, and I've got packets to give to the residents. And I'm thanking the commissioners because the documents that I had showed that in 2016, Plantersville refused cooperation with Magnolia. You commissioners signed off on the approval to do it, and it was stopped by Plantersville. With Todd Mission coming in, they had the foresight, knowing they need response.
Right.
So Commissioners Court made it possible many years ago. And I think, I'm trying to say this so that the residents that I've got to deal with at Crown Ranch understand it wasn't a political or a governmental problem. It was a problem with, am I allowed to use the chief's name who didn't respond? No, I won't do that. The chief refused to let Magnolia help, endangering lives. When Todd Mission came, it was full cooperation, completely. Talked to Kat, I talked to Cassandra.
Right.
You couldn't ask for better people. Now, Commissioners, I don't know where you find these people that wear so many different hats and are so good. I haven't met a person here that isn't willing to help and talk to me as a person. And for that, I'm extremely grateful. You've made that part of my, I guess I call it a crusade. I'm on a mission. That one was taken care of. What I was going to complain about came to fruition last night. We now have, this was sent to me by Jared L. Cosper. He's the head of the actual first responders for the county of Montgomery. He went to, man, I gotta tell you, I got so many names here. I lost whoever's in charge of St. Joseph up in Bryan. When he heard about this debacle we had a week ago last Saturday, it went all the way up through Montgomery County, went two ways. And by the time it got to the top, on the actual people who put their feet in the fire and who respond, he went on Monday to talk to St. Joseph. They've got a document, and he was nice enough to email me a copy of that document. So we now have written documentation that Crown Ranch, Grimes County, will be primarily serviced by Montgomery County EMS. Something that we've been trying. You judges have been working on it. Commissioner Mallett, you're part of the safety committee. Commissioner Walker is. And you guys, you people, I say guys, you people, commissioners have been doing such a good job in working towards this. I had an hour conversation with Commissioner Mallett on Friday. She said, I'm going to have to light a fire under these people. And I joked with her about, I can imagine.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Mallard or Commissioner Walker?
Commissioner Walker, I'm
Okay.
sorry, Commissioner Walker.
Because he's definitely a he. I'm sure. Please continue.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Commissioner Walker lit a fire under me. That was last Friday.
Okay.
And on Sunday, I contacted Cass. Sunday night at 5 minutes to 7, and by 10 after 7, we had agreed to meet personally to discuss all the fire information.
Yes, sir.
Got done with that. I went to the Magnolia Fire Station, and I couldn't talk to the chief, Gary Vinson, but I was explaining it. Somebody comes out to a site officer. He said, I was wondering what happened there. It's concerned everybody. And because it was a possible stroke, Life Flight was sent. Magnolia Emergency Response sent an SUV that has the capability of locating a spot for the helicopter to land. Magnolia first responders got there and diagnosed that he didn't have a stroke and he didn't have a heart attack and it was no longer life-threatening. St. Joseph called Life Flight off. But by that time, we also had Montgomery ambulance there because we had somebody intercede for us. So all the way up the line, I never realized that everybody was looking at us, from the ground to the top management in Montgomery County. They all knew about it, and I managed to talk to every person that was personally involved with that incident, and they all said, this is totally unacceptable. I also heard from Commissioner Walker that one of their last complaints or reasons for not bringing in Montgomery County or Magnolia was because they would bill either Grimes County or St. Joseph for the call. That lit a fire under Montgomery because they said, we don't charge anybody.
Before I get in trouble on public comments, I'm going to ask you, if you will, to kind of summarize your
Okay.
thoughts here for us.
Okay, through all of that, we got it done. We've got the document. Now, I don't have the total official document, but this was sent to me and has the background and how it all came about, and that Montgomery Magnolia will be the first responders. The thing I need from you people is that St. Joseph has to let Montgomery, or let Grimes County 911 know
For dispatch.
that when there's calls from people and they're supposed to be rerouted to Montgomery.
Yes, sir.
Now, this is what I'm asking you, because Kat's out, and if somebody could follow up.
Take care of this real quick. Just, we received an email.
Would you identify yourself, please, sir?
Chief Deputy Grant, Grimes County Sheriff's Office. Part of my duties is supervising the communications division here.
Yes, sir.
I did receive last night an email from St. Joseph that they have been in agreement, and they did come to an agreement with Montgomery County. And we will, as soon as we get all the dots and i's crossed, we will be sending Montgomery County first, and then also St. Joseph to Crown Ranch.
Excellent.
Thank you, sir, I appreciate that. Well,
And do you have a document that you wanted to leave with us?
yes, sir.
Okay,
I didn't, this isn't mine, this is from Montgomery County.
that's fine. And we can review this, and if necessary, then we can put it on the agenda and make it an agenda item. Would you spell your last name for the county clerk, please?
Signs, S like in Sam, I-N-E-S, first name Jack. Thanks for your help, Commissioner.
Thank you, Mr. Sines.
Thank you.
All right. Are there any other, is that your folder there? Yeah. Is it? Good morning.
Good morning. Annabeth Neeson from Shire. Mine won't take but a second.
All right.
When we got court and we've got commissioner's court, there's no parking around here. And I have no clue whose job it is, whether it's the city of Anderson or Grimes County. Have we ever thought about putting a shoulder out on this road that comes up from 149? Where we could have some semi-decent parking? Thank you.
Taken under consideration.
Thank you. Good morning.
In public comments, I'll share with you, I'm on the city council agenda with Anderson tomorrow to talk about parking and street right-of-ways. Very timely. Go ahead.
Good morning, I'm Mary Ann Waters, tax assessor collector. I just want to let y'all know that tomorrow night at 6:30, we're having the stew supper at St. Joseph's Catholic Church in Stone. Would like for you all to attend if possible.
How much is it?
It's $10 for adult tickets and $5 for children.
And it's what? Stew?
Stew supper.
Stew supper.
Very good stew. Man, I like that.
You cooking it, Commissioner?
No, I'm not, but it's very good.
The Altar Society.
Are there any other public comments? We certainly thank you for those that have made public comments. We will now move to, and, I thought we had more public comments.
I do not know, sir.
Then moving right along, we'll move to consent agenda items number 3 and number 4. Agenda item number 3, consider and take action to approve the treasurer's list of claims and bills. Agenda item number 4, approve minutes of previous Commissioners' Court meetings, special meeting on February 6, 2019 at 9 a.m., regular meeting on February 13, 2019 at 9 a.m., special meeting on February 20th, 2019 at 8 a.m., special meeting on February 22nd, 2019 at 11:30 a.m., regular meeting on February 27th, 2019 at 9 a.m. We have the minutes attached. We have had time to, or should have had time to review those. Are there any comments or questions on any of those? Or on agenda item number 3?
I move to approve consent agenda items 3 and 4 as presented.
Second.
There's a motion before the court on consent agenda item number 3 and 4 by Commissioner Mallett, seconded by Commissioner Dobianski. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We will now go to Navasota-Grimes County Chamber of Commerce, Johnny McNally, Executive Director. Agenda item number 6, Chamber of Commerce update. Mr. McNally.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. As always, I appreciate the opportunity to come before you and give you a kind of a brief update as to what the chamber activities have been. In front of you, you should have a little packet of information, which I love my PowerPoints, but I didn't bring one today, so I thought I'd save everyone the misery. So we'll start with promotion. This is I always talk about promotion, education, and economic development. Starting with promotion, we had our Chamber Awards banquet about a week and a half ago, almost 2 weeks ago, and I just wanted to reiterate the people who were recognized at that banquet. Chamber Member of the Year was Republic Services. Community Service Award went to Kristen Keeley for her work on the Grimes County Animal Shelter. Employee of the Year went to Bob Shirley of 42 Place Apartments, and Citizen of the Year went to Gail Sowell, Mayor of Anderson. We had a lot of worthy recipients and nominees this year. Upcoming chamber events, we have Coffee with the Chamber a week from today at 9 a.m. at Java Hotspot. For those of you who haven't attended Coffee with the Chamber, we tend to go through upcoming events, changes in the business climate, different businesses coming, businesses that are changing locations, whatever news that we have to share, and including community events that are coming up and plans that businesses can figure out ways to participate in all these different events. When we have events here in Grimes County, it's very beneficial for the businesses to do something to tie into those events and draw people into their businesses. So that's what we discuss typically at Coffee with the Chamber.
And are those typically on Wednesdays?
Third Wednesday at
That's
9
a
a.m.
bit of a conflict of schedule with court.
For court, yes. We have a mixer on March 21st, Chamber After Hours Mixer, and that's at 5:30 at Simple Life Chiropractic. They have a new location and they're anxious to show it off, so you are all invited to that. Vendor Blender is at the Grimes County Expo on March 28th. That'll be a public event, free to the public, and family-friendly event. We're going to have lots of kids' activities. We'll have chamber members out there that you can meet chamber members. And we're also bringing in a special guest, U.S. Olympian Johnny Quinn. He's also a former NFL player, and he was with the U.S. Olympic bobsled team. And he'll be giving a couple of short speeches to the kids and to the parents and business owners who are out there. It's a chance for the community to come out and meet a true Olympian, shake his hand, get an autographed bobsled. He'll have those to hand out for the kids who are there. So that's the Expo Center on March 28th, starting at 4:30. And right now we're doing booth sign-ups and sponsorships for that event. I also wanted to put on your radar the Groovy Grapes Wine Walk, which is in downtown Navasota on Saturday, April 20th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. That's the day before Easter. We have tour groups coming through next week. We have 2 different groups on the 19th and the 22nd. Both of them are here to take the Texas Ranger Law Enforcement Tour. And these tours have become very popular, brings a lot of visitors into Grimes County, and we're always happy to show off what we have to offer here. So these are a couple that are coming up in the next few weeks. We have more scheduled for April, we have more scheduled for May. As far as education, talking about educational topics, we have a developers roundtable scheduled for May the 14th at 7D Ranch. This is tentative, and we're still putting together the lineup of developers, but we want to give an update to our area realtors so they know what Grimes County projects are currently in development, where they're at in what stage of development, and what they can tell prospective buyers or businesses that are interested in locating here. Chamber Academy we have scheduled for next Wednesday, March 20th at noon at Navasota Center. The topic on that is Alzheimer's awareness. It'll be led by Golden Creek Nursing and Rehab. And they'll be doing an hour-long session. They'll be talking about Alzheimer's and how it can impact your loved ones. And they'll actually have some kind of an interactive device that you'll be able to wear or enter, and it'll replicate what the people who have Alzheimer's are feeling and what they're sensing. So it should be a really interesting topic, and for those of you who are impacted by Alzheimer's, you may want to attend this. As far as business assistance, we've come into a new agreement with the Small Business Development Center in College Station that they'll come down to Navasota on the first Wednesday of every month and meet with our local businesses. Anyone who has an issue they want to talk about regarding their business, if they're looking for new financing options, they're looking for new ideas, if you're looking to start a business, maybe you want to help in developing a business plan, maybe you're looking for competitive analysis. So the SBDC has a lot of experience and a lot of resources to call upon, and everything that they offer to you is free. So if you have a question about a business, come spend some time with these folks. And
Where are they at?
they're at the Chamber of Commerce
At
office.
the chamber office.
And so the next meeting is April 3rd from 9 to 12, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
That would be a Wednesday.
Wednesday, yes.
Just noting that.
9 to 12 on Wednesday, April 3rd. So they're here the first Wednesday of every month. And again, free of charge. It's helpful if you call in advance so they know who they're expecting and they can do a little prep work before you get there. Just call our office. As far as economic development, we've had several bid requests come from the governor's office, and there are some that we feel like we can be competitive reaching out to these bidders, and so we are responding to those. And then we've also had some direct contact from other potential developers, and we're active in discussions with those. I'll give you a more complete report in April when I give you the 6-month update, but we have a lot of activity regarding potential new businesses coming to this area. I also wanted to mention I'm starting year 3 of a 3-year course to become a certified community developer. Community development and economic development tend to go hand in hand, and after my 3rd year, I'll be able to test and receive certification as a certified community developer. Commissioner Walker's gone through the same program, and I know she's in the advanced program at this point. Very beneficial, and it's really enabled me to do my job better. I wanted to ask if Al Peeler wanted to come up here. The next page in your packet is about the Anderson Courthouse birthday plan. So for those of you who aren't aware, Judge Fouth had asked Mr. Peeler and I to work together to develop a plan on celebrating the courthouse's 125th birthday. And so what you have in front of you is a synopsis of what our goals, our key elements, the sponsors and volunteers and planning, and the outside organizations will be using. Did you want to?
The Sunshine Center will be doing the pancake breakfast.
For the record, would you identify yourself?
I'm
please,
Al
sir?
Beeler, I'm Grimes County Maintenance Manager. Sunshine Center will be doing the pancake breakfast. Judge Fouth is getting dignitaries to come say, I can't see that, Johnny. We're gonna have a car show. I believe it's period. It's not gonna be like 60s, it's gonna be Model Ts and Model As. That's as close as we can get to time period for the courthouse. And then we'll have speakers, we'll have a barbershop quartet, brass band. Our goal in this whole thing is to make this a birthday celebration and be free. We don't want you to have to come to a birthday celebration and spend money with vendors. So we're gonna be asking the whole county to throw in to their courthouse birthday.
Is there a date?
June the 15th, tentatively scheduled from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. June the 15th is a Saturday. And some of the other things we have planned are pancake breakfast, the ice cream social, hot dogs, lemonade, children's areas. We're also looking to dedicate a time capsule.
Yeah. You wanna speak on your idea, Judge?
Well, the idea was with the time capsule, a portion of fundraiser sponsorship, anybody that wanted to contribute $5 to the time capsule and put your business card in there, then we would open that up, or somebody would open that up 50 or 75 years from now. We have to determine how long the capsule will be. That was just an idea.
So that goes for with your long-term business goals. If you have a 75-year plan, and you're set. And we also plan to take a group photograph, a community photograph, to commemorate the occasion. So for everyone who's there, they're able to gather and get a group photograph.
There will be tours of the courthouse with some artifacts in the court room itself. It will be guided tours only. We're not just gonna let people mentally go in the courthouse just on their own. We'll have people with guided tours there. You can sign up, get on a tour. And unfortunately, I'm not gonna make the deadline of it all being done because we're just going out for bid on the Hurricane Harvey damage, but it'll look the best it can look. I promise you.
And this is all put together for us to celebrate our courthouse, to have some fun as a community within the county, and just enjoy the day. So appreciate you guys and the work you're doing.
And then,
The public meeting.
yeah, we plan on having a public meeting about this courthouse celebration. We're looking at April 1st, probably be in this room if it's available, and you'll hear more about that as it comes a little closer. But we do want people who want to have input, want to be involved, want to contribute something. We want you to have that opportunity, so.
I do.
Thank you both again.
Moving on, next you find a whole lot of statistics. It's a community profile on Grimes County. This is the latest statistics through 2018. You also have a 5-year growth projection map and actually a 40-year growth projection for Grimes County. This information has been put on the Economic Development website, and I just thought you'd like to have a printout of it. If you have any questions about that, you can just let me know. And then lastly, in your packet is a one-page synopsis of the upcoming Chamber of Commerce events. And that pretty much encompasses everything I've just told you on one sheet.
Can you send me an electronic copy of these two?
Yes, sir, I'd be happy to. And I'll just send them to all of you. but-
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
That will then bring us to agenda item number 6. That is discuss and take action to approve auction of the 2001 Ford Expedition on govdeals.com, attachment number 6. Did you get the add business resolved on that?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Add business?
I don't know what I'm talking about. You go ahead.
Oh, okay. That comes, Grimes County Building Maintenance Manager Al Peeler. I'm asking, really, we've got our fair share. I believe David Lilly has used this vehicle, adult probation has used this vehicle, maintenance has used this vehicle. It hasn't had air conditioning since David Lilly used it. In your packet, you see it has 206,000 miles on it. It's just not feasible. The back door won't open. It's time to put it up for auction, and I'm ready. I got it sitting over here. I got to remove decals this weekend, and then we're gonna, if it's approved, I'm gonna say see you later.
Okay.
I worked on it enough.
Any questions for Mr. Peeler? Anybody care to make a motion?
I move that we approve auction of the 2001 Ford Expedition on govdeals.com.
Second.
There's a motion before the court on agenda item number 6 by Commissioner Dobianski, seconded by Commissioner Cox. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Agenda item number 7, Grimes County Sheriff's Office Chief Deputy Todd Green received the Grimes County Sheriff's Office Racial Profiling Report for 2018.
Good morning. This is our annual racial profiling report that we submit to the state every year, that we're also required to submit to our governing body. A lot of information in there. Towards the back is where the actual statistics are kind of the report that we actually submit to the state. We interjected in this year showing the number of stops we made and throughout the county throughout the year. Based on the numbers, looking at the percentages of, in comparing the race and equity number of the stops we've done by race to the percentages of the county, we're in line with that. And we also do not receive any complaints this year.
So on the recommendations, it's effectively continue doing what we're doing and the way we're doing it. Is that right?
Continue on it. We always look for ways to improve.
Sure, sure.
Ourselves,
But I mean, there's no dramatic changes or anything like that.
no, y'all don't have to take any action. This is just, we just have to present this to y'all. So y'all have a copy of it.
I'll let the record show for the 1,884 stops that men were stopped twice as much as women, so that a women driver scenario goes right out the window on that one.
Obviously, show maybe they're a
I'm
little,
sorry?
maybe they're a little more law-abiding.
Maybe. Whatever it is, we appreciate the women only being half as bad as the men. Maybe there's more male drivers, I don't know, but the numbers are interesting. We appreciate everything you do, Chief, and the entire Sheriff's Office. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, agenda item number 8, discuss, this is Grimes County IT Director Greg Cannon, discuss and approve an amendment to the current email usage policy to include the archival and retention of email for employees that no longer work for the county. See attachment number 8. Mr. Cannon?
Yes, my name is Greg Cannon. I'm the Director of IT for Grimes County. I'm requesting 2 additional items be added to the policy, email policy on page 4. One for non-managerial employees whose employment has been terminated. Their email will be archived and their email account will be removed. Their email will not be forwarded. And for management level employees whose employment has been terminated or they have left, their email will be archived and their email will be forwarded to a designated manager or official for 30 days.
And when you use the term terminated, you're just saying they've left the
Right.
county, whether it was a
Voluntary.
discharge, a voluntary, a retirement, whatever it might be. Okay. Just for clarity.
In the event of an employee leaving, a department manager can still request that that employee's emails be forwarded to
Right.
them. Correct, just for clarification.
Yeah, yes, we could do that. It's just standard policy is we typically won't forward, but the manager can request for it to be forwarded.
You know, someone once said if you have to approve it before you can read what's in it, if you make that font any smaller, you're gonna have to make it where we can see it before we can approve it, to read it, to know what's in it. I'm just saying, Greg. Are there any comments to the language on the policy? And our county attorney, I presume you've had an opportunity to review it?
Okay.
Can you see it?
No, thanks, Judge. Yes. No, I've looked at it. It's a question that I'm fine with the substance of it. I probably would have phrased it differently. It's kind of awkward, but it's Greg's choice because he's posed it. And then I'm told that he already knows that it says grime many times throughout the policy, which
You
is
didn't change
not.
that?
I fixed it, but when I sent it to Sheree, I changed it afterwards, so I apologize. Everywhere it says grime, it should say grimes.
Okay. And then one other thing, and it's just in the policy, but it's not those two items specifically, and I'm just pointing it out. I hadn't thought through this, and Greg and I can talk about it later, but there's a provision that says individual messages which are forwarded by the user must not contain Grimes County confidential or above information. Sometimes we're forwarding confidential information. My office is forwarding confidential information all the time. So anyway, that doesn't necessarily speak to the two additions. I don't have any problem with those. We're still under the archival rules adopted by each elected official. So we've got to maintain those emails. But as far as what we do with future emails after a termination, I think you need to have a policy on that.
Very good. Anyone want to put a motion before the court?
Judge, I move that we approve an amendment to the current email usage policy to include the archival and retention of email for employees that no longer work for the county.
Second. There's a motion before the court on agenda item number 8 by Commissioner Cox, seconded by Commissioner Mallett. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And you will make us plural on that?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Thank you.
That'll bring us to agenda item number 9, 10, and 11, Road and Bridge Engineer Harry Walker. Consider and take action to enter into an interlocal agreement with the Anderson Shiro Independent School District. That would be our attachment number 9. Mr. Walker.
Good morning, everyone. We were approached recently by Anderson Shiro School District, asked if we would be willing to enter into an interlocal agreement to assist them with some of their road maintenance. Not that they have a lot of roads, but in particular, they have a rock road behind the high school that runs from the bus barn back to their ag barn, which is it's over a half-mile long road. Now, they had some damages last fall in the October storm, and they asked if we could help them out with that. And they also suggested that they might like to have this for future use for occasions where they might want to install a bus turnaround on various county roads, which is an item that comes up from time to time with the different school districts. So we're recommending that the county go ahead and enter into the interlocal agreement. This is just for road maintenance. It would be similar to the road maintenance agreement we have with the small towns. Basically, the school district would pay for the materials and the county would provide the labor and equipment to install it. Scheduling would be subject to our prior needs.
And our priority is, i.e. the county?
The county, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Which is the same policy we use with the town projects
Right.
also. And this is taken from the basic interlocal agreement that we've used recently with the towns. It does have a 5-year term and all the normal legal provisions that our attorney's office provides. Questions?
Well, we can look at each other all day. so
I was approached by the Anderson, and I was, since this is in my precinct, I was
Okay.
approached by Anderson Shiro to do this, and then I contacted Harry, and he worked out the agreement with them so that we could do the maintenance on that. And they, again, we want to stress that they are furnishing the materials. We're just doing the labor as we can. Therefore, I move that we enter into the interlocal agreement with Anderson Shiro Independent School District.
Second.
There's a motion before the court on agenda item number 9 by Commissioner Dobianski, seconded by Commissioner Cox. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item number 10, consideration and possible approval of applications by Wixon Creek SUD for water line installations on County Road 127 and County Road 128. That would be our attachment number 10.
There are 2 different locations, 2 separate permits that we're recommending today. One is for County Road 127. Near the intersection of County Road 128. That is a larger line. I have not discussed with them, it's a 6-inch line, or 4-inch line. I have not discussed with them any interest in fire hydrant. Typically, we wouldn't have a fire hydrant on a 4-inch line. And then 128 in the same vicinity, separate crossing permit, just further down. And this is a small 1-inch water line for a house service. Questions?
We've been having these come before us fairly regularly recently, and we've approved all that have come in front. When, in your opinion, would we probably consider not approving?
I'm not sure with the water lines in particular. I don't know that there would be a reason we wouldn't approve something. If there were issues with the proposed installation, we would work that out before we brought it to you. We have sort of limited ability to prevent them from putting utilities in our right-of-way, and as long as they're following our criteria,
Right.
I can't see where we would recommend not approving it. To be honest, I'm not sure that it's strictly necessary that these even come to court. I think they're a little more routine than maybe was originally anticipated when this procedure was set up.
Okay.
Wixon Creek, they're active. They're doing a lot.
They are.
It's seems like every week, or every 2 weeks, we have permits from them.
Well, and honestly, I do read through these because it's big enough I can read. But, and they don't seem to change much other than road numbers and water line sizes. So I was just curious when, you get these requests, but then when would it might be that we should consider not agreeing to it?
Again, it's a standard form,
Right.
so that's why it doesn't change, but if there are some unusual circumstances that might arise, for example, TMPA has a large diameter water line that runs along Racy Road where they're bringing water from the river into their reservoir.
Right.
Yeah, that's not a 4-inch or 1-inch water line, it's 48-inch or something. It's a huge water line for raw water. Things like that, we might want to think twice about.
Okay.
We might want to tell, no, we don't want it in the right of way, we want you to get separate easements. Things that are out of the ordinary, yeah, maybe something would come up that would warrant either turning them down or changing their approach. But the typical, 90% of what we see are 1-inch service lines for biggest houses. I can't see why we would ever turn one of those down.
Well, I don't, and I don't think we want as a court to unnecessarily hold up somebody's business. But Mr. Foltz, do you have any thoughts on, is this something we ought to continue looking at each and every time? And not trying to shirk duties and responsibilities, but keeping the process going?
You should never ask a lawyer whether he has any thoughts on something.
What is your single most thought on this, sir?
How about my top 5? Let me say that this process serves more than one purpose. As it is the case when we do preliminary plat, there's no requirement that that be brought to the court, but the announcement of that allows both the public and the members of the court, especially the commissioner who has that precinct,
Right.
to be apprised of where we are and the fact that this thing is about to happen. You just received the same information about a pipeline that's about to go in, or a water line that's about to go in, that you would not have received in all likelihood had you not had this meeting.
Okay.
Beneficial in this case to Commissioner Mallett to know the specifics of it, but you could orchestrate it in a way that the Road and Bridge engineer would disseminate that information to all commissioners, or all commissioners and the judge, or just the commissioner and the precinct. But in all honesty, I think it's better done this way, in that you announce to the world that this is happening, so you got people on 127, 128 that now potentially see it, and they say, why didn't I get any notice? Well, at the very least, you had it as a Commissioner's Court agenda item. Now, I don't know if that gets anybody notice other than the folks that are sitting around their underwear watching us right now, or will be watching us. But all to say, it serves at least that purpose, and then keep in mind that there are various statutes that apply. And best I can tell, it depends upon your lobby and how well you do at the legislature. But there are various statutes that apply to different utilities about the level of notice or consent that is required from the Commissioner's Court.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that, take this back to, maybe I shouldn't, but I will, high-speed rail. We have a real concern that there is nothing that requires them to obtain the Commissioner's Court consent when it is the case that they will be impacting or affecting county roads with their crossings, either closing a county road or affecting the height or the clearance of the county road, or potentially having pylons in the right-of-way, various things that could affect the county road. Well, who's in charge of the county roads? You guys, through your Road and Bridge Department. So being aware of what's going on out there is important, but there are various utilities that have different, I'm going to say again, different strengths of their lobbyists that have obtained different statutes that apply to a high line, to a cable, to a phone line, etc. I should have started with the basic premise. A right-of-way for a county road is not solely for travel by vehicles and pedestrians. It's also to lay utility lines. It's for the benefit of the public. And so now that we know that, it is the case that these various utilities have different rights as to whether they have to give any notice at all, whether they just give notice, or whether they need consent. The reality is we're guided by equal protection. We've got to treat everybody the same way. But you have the ability to look out for the safety and the welfare of people of the county, as well as how you maintain the road. Where do we lay these lines? What's the depth, etc. Well, obviously, we prefer having the notice and an opportunity to consent to the line, but that's not always what the legislature provides. So we've put in place these permits, and as I recall, and I may be mistaken, and I might get kicked in the back by my staff, but I think we only had permits for pipelines when I started, but there was no fee being taken at that point. So we kind of revamped that, and then when Bobby Liz came along, we got all of these forms for various types of utility lines. All to say, anything you can do to have oversight of these various types of lines, to know when they're going in, where they're going in, what their depth is, etc., I think is of benefit to the court. It's certainly a benefit to Road and Bridge. But for you to potentially have the information to disseminate to your constituents, even if it's not your precinct, if somebody calls you and said, hey, I was just driving just outside our precinct in another precinct, and I can't get by this road, or I see somebody cutting the road, or I see some equipment that's causing some trouble. Maybe somebody had a clue of what was going on because we've done it this way in a public setting.
Okay, thank you. So we'll continue as we're doing, at least until further notice. Makes sense. All right.
I move to approve the applications by Wixon Creek SUD for water line installations on County Road 127 and 128.
Second.
There's a motion before the court on agenda item number 10 by Commissioner Mallett, seconded by Commissioner Dobianski. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item number 11, consider adoption of hiring a resolution for, consider adoption of a hiring resolution for Gessner Engineering LLC related to the 2017 General Land Office CDBG Hurricane Harvey Grant Program, attachment number 11.
As you recall, we started down this process a couple months ago, went through solicitations and had a selection committee that looked at the different submittals received for engineering services for the mitigation work we're proposing to related to Hurricane Harvey. The upshot of that was that the committee recommended that Gessner Engineering LLC be hired for that work. This has been delayed somewhat as we worked through some of the issues between the GLO and BBCOG regarding how much money was going to be provided for this grant and how it was going to be distributed, some of those things. I think that process is behind us now. I think it's time to move forward with getting Gessner under contract. The hiring resolution is the next to the last step. The final step will be we will bring the contract with Gessner to you, but the way the GLO has it set up, it's a two-step process.
Right.
We need the hiring resolution, and then we can get the final negotiations on their contract completed, and then that will come before you hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
Okay. Mr. Foltz, does the resolution need to be read?
It does not. I've reviewed it. This is, I suspect, just a string to be able to use the money of the federal government, so.
And I might add the Hurricane Harvey grant that we're receiving is $334,000 and some change. And there's a separate component for buyouts. This is just for the infrastructure side. There's, I believe, $1.2 million in buyout money that's also being provided.
Mr. Lilly's working that into the project.
Yes, that's a separate process, separate part of the program.
I move to approve the adoption of a hiring resolution for Gessner Engineering LLC related to the 2017 GLO CDBG Hurricane Harvey program and authorize the county judge's signatory.
Second.
There's a motion before the court on agenda item number 11 by Commissioner Mallett, seconded by Commissioner Dobianski. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Road and Bridge report, sir.
Primary, more interesting things that are going on. We had a vehicular accident on County Road 202 where a car went off the bridge, took out the guardrail, and ended up in the creek. I did not ever hear what the outcome of the injuries were. It's the second time in just the time I've been here that we've had a car go off that same bridge. Fortunately, this is one of the bridges that will be replaced under our 2015 grant. So by the end of, not this summer, but by the end of next summer, we should have a better bridge with better alignment. It appears to me that the reason we keep having problems here is the alignment of the road coming up to the bridge. Because both cars have gone off the same side of the bridge, heading the same direction, almost identical situations.
Unposted speed in the county, though, is what?
35.
35?
35.
Well, I know that we've recently had a ticket on one of our county roads, which is 35, got written up for 85 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So, you know, it could be the configuration of the road, but it could be some of those male drivers we were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
But,
we don't have roads that will sustain 30 or 85 mile an hour speed limits.
I
regardless
agree.
of their alignment.
I agree.
It's just not gonna work. I don't recommend that at all. But I'm unhappy with that this has happened multiple times at this location. I'm glad that we have a mechanism in place where this bridge will be replaced. It'll be wider, it'll be better aligned,
Okay.
and much safer in the future.
did you state when that's planned on the bridge replacement?
The work under the 2015 grant has to be completed by September of 2020.
Okay.
It's under design right now. We should be going out for bids later on this year, and then the construction is due to be complete before, it can be completed earlier, but it has to be completed by September of 2020.
So hopefully in a year and a half it'll be done.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe soon. Also, on a related note, we completed the replacement of the County Road 127 bridge, which is one that you may recall we reported a while back that had been damaged by some heavy equipment going across it that shouldn't have been.
Yes,
That work's been completed now.
that was that bulldozer, wasn't it?
Right. Yeah. Elsewhere, mostly we've been putting out a lot of rock on the roads. As you may have noticed, we've actually gotten a little bit of a break on the weather pattern here recently. We haven't had the heavy rains, and we're able to make more progress on getting some rock out and getting some of these roads graded. So that's been a nice change. Ditch crew is continuing to work. We've had a major project on County Road 132, trying to get that all straightened up. That's been a big focus of theirs lately. And then elsewhere in the office, we spent a lot of time working with the different grant programs and the disasters, working with FEMA and TDM. I will point out, there was a kickoff meeting with FEMA and TDM here a week or so ago. Several of us, including the judge, attended. The October 2018 storm that we had has been declared a disaster now, and there will be FEMA reimbursements coming back to the county for some of the damages we experienced in that event also. So, not nearly to the same extent as Hurricane Harvey or some of the earlier floods, but it did cause some significant damages in certain parts of the county.
That was more on the north end, right?
The north end got hit worse on that. Any questions?
Appreciate all you guys do, and you made the comment, I guess, last time, but your crews have now gone to Monday through Thursday for the 10-hour work days.
Yes, as of this week, we've started our 10-hour days, 4 days a week. The office is open half days on Fridays also, just to better serve the citizens.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We'll go to County Judge, agenda item number 12, review and discuss fiscal year 2020 budget calendar C, attachment 12. I had Ms. Wagner put this on the agenda, and it's very similar to what we did last year. It's fairly much governed by the outline that TAC provides us at the beginning of the year. Just a note of recognition, what is it, County Progress? Is that the County Progress magazine that we get, or many of us get? The editor or the publisher asked could they print our calendar in their magazine. And when we sent it to them, they said, oh, that's 5 pages. We can't dedicate that much. So I think they're doing the first page and a half, and then they're putting a link on their website to show the rest of it. So other counties that might struggle with the budget calendar can have access to ours. So follow our lead, you betcha. So, but I mean, it's a very detailed calendar. If you look at the the color key in the back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different areas of responsibilities that we need to pay attention to. But I wanted to get this out in front of Commissioners Court and to whoever else, department heads and other elected officials, as you start making your summertime plans and things of that sort. Keep in mind this schedule is what we're going to adhere to. There's some drop dead dates on it, if you will, that we're required to by law. We do have flexibility in some of the other things, or make adjournments and continue the next day and so forth, as we did last year as our progress went. But I wanted to get it to you sooner than later so you could take a review of it, and if any questions came up or concerns came up, we could address it before the dates arise. Be interested, Ms. Nichols, for the county auditor's office to review it, and if you see anything that certainly needs to be modified or changed, bring us up to speed on that. We'd appreciate your input. But other than that, that's all I wanted to do, is make you folks aware of it. Comments or questions? If none, we'll go to agenda item number 13. Consider and take action regarding the burn ban and authorize the county judge as signatory. Be my recommendation that we take no action at this time. There's an agreement there. We'll go to agenda item number 14. Are there any updates on the strategic plan? Sheree, when is our workshop scheduled for that?
What workshop?
We don't have it scheduled yet?
We already had it.
That was on Road and Bridge, wasn't it?
We planned the road and bridge one based on.
Oh, when we did the workshop, okay, all right. But we do need to revisit that. I'll visit with you on the calendar for that, okay. Commissioners, any comments, sir?
Are you gonna comment on the recent workshop we had regarding roads?
I'll let you.
Okay, well, just to update the strategic plan, item number 16, I believe, deals with roads, paving, and repair. We just had a recent workshop, when was it? Monday.
2 days ago,
They all run
Commissioner.
together. And got some very valuable information from the road and bridge engineer. Is that report available to the public online, the paving report?
I would be it's not online right now. I'd be somewhat hesitant to put that out in the public in that much detail. What we have done in the past is issued the list of planned road work projects.
Which is adequate.
Year by year, without all that detail, which I can make that available if you'd like.
Well, it's, it's certainly however you want to handle it, but I will say that there's a lot of work to be done in the future, and that the Road and Bridge Department is focusing a lot of efforts on maintaining our roads despite the weather, but focusing some attentions on the paving calendar as far as what's going to be done in the future with regard to the roads in Grimes County. And it's a pretty big chore. So.
And we thank you for your efforts and your crews, very much so. Thank you, Commissioner. With that, we'll move to agenda item number 15. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
Second.
There's a motion before the court on agenda item number 15 to adjourn by Commissioner Dobianski, seconded by Commissioner Mallett. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. The motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.